What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Blue Crew. This is Ball Hawk, Fatima, the founder of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody. Woo!
All right. Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. And I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live. You know what? It's a Wednesday show edition. So that means we got the Dew Crew Power Rankings. We got a new intro for the show. I put up a new icon behind me. I'm not going to leave it up the entire time, but I spent a little time on this one. Kind of actually like this one. But anyway, as we all get it, we're in the middle point of the season. And yes, indeed. You know what? Detroit Lions got some choices to make. And I want to make this one an interactive show in regards to this, because I do believe Lions, they're in a position where they're going to have a little bit of flexibility with their schedule that maybe some other teams do not. So we're going to break down the remaining schedule, talk about, at least based on my experience, some of the situations that Mcdc and the rest of the coaching staff are going to have to face going forward. And I think that's going to start this weekend. So we'll save that for the main topic of the day. All right, let's get this one going. So if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Survey says we are, we'll say 21 subs away from hitting 10,900, and obviously from there 100 away from hitting 11,000. So if you can help out with that, that would be most welcome and appreciated. Also, if you have a half-second time, it is free of charge. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. As you guys probably know, if you watch YouTube for any kind of length of time, that helps out the content creators quite a bit. So if you would, por favor, hit that thumbs up button. Last but never least, if you are looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see my number on your screen, 269-998-2384. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation, see what we can do to save you some money, make the process of buying that commercial property, that vacant land, whether it be for hunting or develop a new house, whatever it may be, or if you're looking to sell your property, give me a call. We'll save you some money, make it easy on you, and hopefully make it so I can work hard so you won't have to. How about that? All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the main topic, the first topic of the day. And as you guys know, that is 5 headlines now. Yeah, real quick before 5 headlines now, do you see the point spread for this weekend's game is growing more and more? Man, the Lions are really favored to do some damage here this weekend. And I don't know how many touchdown passes Goff's going to throw for or the offense is going to put up. I do know the Jags defense is pretty decent. But you know what? I think the Lions defense might have an opportunity to score just as many points as potentially the offense. All right, let's get this going. 5 headlines now. Lions add 2 familiar names to their practice squad. You guys probably saw this yesterday. I just didn't really want to jump into it. I didn't think it was worthy of a video or anything. I figured I'd just save it for the morning show. But yes, in case you were wondering, defensive end Isaiah Thomas, he cleared waivers so the Lions could re-sign him. They did announce that he will return to the team via the practice squad. The other one that you guys probably are aware of also, Maurice Alexander, wide receiver. He's going to return to the Detroit Lions. So both guys are back. I think you're going to see probably Isaiah Thomas get some run here at different times in the season. Now, Lions seemingly developed a little bit of a defensive line and especially some depth here with rotations. It'll be nice to see if Thomas can come in from time to time, maybe to spell people. I like his athleticism and his assertiveness. Regarding Alexander, he's got some flexibility, can do some special teams returns, obviously help out in the wide receiving game. But he did do, I thought, some good stuff in the preseason. Unfortunately, he was a casualty of the numbers. Can't keep everyone on the 53-man roster. So good to see them both back. And, yes, adding a little bit more veteran leadership to that veterans squad, as the coaches like to call it. All right, Second on the 5 headlines now, Detroit Lions, Ohio State Buckeyes offensive lineman linked to the Detroit Lions. This is from Ohio State Buckeyes on SI, story by Cole McDaniel. I would say, man, how much has the franchise changed the last 3 years? The fact that we're not already talking about the NFL draft or free agency at this point in the year, I think is something. But Ohio State Buckeyes offensive lineman Donovan Jackson is the person in question here. I don't know enough about him at this point to say much about him. I just have been focused on in-season stuff this year versus postseason stuff. You are starting to see more and more things emerge, though, across the national media. Lions linked to signing this player in free agency. Lions potentially going to draft this guy. All of it can be true. All of it can be false. There's a lot of things that are going to happen over the rest of this season before we even really get into the postseason. But I think if you've been a Lions fan for any length of time, you understood. Normally, you got to about the halfway point of the season. The season was, in essence, done for the Detroit Lions. So we would already be talking about potentially who the Lions would draft or sign in free agency. The 33rd team had their first mock draft and had the Detroit Lions selecting this offensive guard. And I wouldn't probably be a bad pick. I'm guessing most of us out there would say, if you had to guess right now, the Lions would probably in the first and second round be addressing the offensive line, defensive line, and then Scooby doing where they go from there. I just don't really think there's a big need in the secondary at this point. There's nothing at the wide receiver room I would think you'd want to go out and get. Same with the running back room. I mean, the Lions, thankfully, at the skill positions are pretty dang good. So my anticipation is that would be the direction they would go. But we'll wait and see when that comes up. All right, 2 Detroit Lions players ranked in top 10 of NFL jersey sales. This is from the Detroit News. You know what? I even got a pop-up for you guys. I got a little cool kid here, and even added this to it. So, hey, there you go. As you can probably see on the, and let me get that comment out of the way, or excuse me, that topic out of the way. Now I can hopefully get you guys to be able to see it better. But all right, there we go. All right, so you can see the top 10 of NFL jersey sales. CJ Stroud was number 1, Caleb Williams 2, Patrick Mahomes, probably not a big surprise there, number 3, but Aiden Hutchinson of the Detroit Lions is number 4, Jaden Daniels is number 5, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown is next at number 6. So yes, as we all get it, when we watch the Lions travel, you are seeing a lot of fans emerge, and nationwide. You know, last night, or excuse me, Thursday night was Sunday night was not a big surprise to see how big the Lions fan base traveled in Houston, but we're seeing it in Green Bay, we're seeing it in Minnesota, we're seeing it all over the place. Lions have fans all over the place. These guys are popular. You have some personalities as well to go along with it, which are helping to fuel sales. Hey, I think it's a sign of the times. The Lions are here to stay, not just for this season, but probably for the foreseeable future. All right, beyond that, let's go to from selling bricks to drilling kicks. Detroit Lions kicker Jake Bates hit second winning field goal. Detroit Free Press, Jared Ramsey on this one. You know, Bates was interviewed after the game Sunday night, and he did talk about the fact that he thought his NFL career was basically over. Then the UFL happened. UFL gave him a chance. He kicked a bunch of really long kicks, and man, he became the stuff of legends. Legatron was born, and yes, anybody who watched the UFL kicks saw this guy hit kicks from over 70-plus yards. If you count how far they would have went through the goalpost, but he did hit some massive kicks. Some of those kicks are actually in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Got to make sure it's not the NFL Hall of Fame. It is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So that's how big some of those kicks were in the UFL. And yes, if you measure the length of some of his kicks, including that the 58-yarder, I think when the Next Gen Stats showed it would have been good from like 73 yards. The kid's got a massive leg. And you know what? The big knock on him was consistency or the accuracy. He's gotten pretty accurate so far in his career. But yes, he was selling bricks literally, and then he got the call from the UFL. All right, next to the 5 headlines now, and actually the last of the 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions quarterback Joey Harrington shocked by son's revelation during the Texans game. Athlon Sports story by Nick Meyer. So Joey Harrington, hey, he's the butt of a lot of jokes for Detroit Lions fans, and rightly so. I mean, it was a great pick. I talked about it yesterday. Mooch did not want him picked. Millen did. Mooch wanted to go with Mike McMahon, and I totally get it, man. Mike McMahon, he was a character. He was an athlete. He had a rocket for an arm, and the dude could run. He reminded me kind of I don't, in some ways, kind of a Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, just somebody like that, because both those guys are extreme examples and maybe something McMahon could have eventually grown into, but Mooch wanted to keep him, didn't want to keep Harrington. But anyways, getting back to the story. Harrington's son, I guess, during the game, who apparently is a big Lions fan, started cheering the team on, wrapped up in his blanket or whatever the story says, and just started cheering the team on. It made Joey Harrington smile, because Joey Harrington, it sounds like to this day, he still considers himself a Detroit Lion, and he bleeds Honolulu blue. So good for him. All right, before we get to the main topic of the day, it is that time of the week, so we're going to go ahead and get us over to the Dew Crew Power Rankings. All right, Dew Crew, what say you to these power rankings? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. All right, we're going to start off at the bottom, work our way up to the top, and guess who's at the very bottom of the NFL as of right now? That's going to be the team we're facing this weekend. Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to come on in. Hopefully they can fall down like they have been all year and just make it a real easy day for the Detroit Lions. Next is the Las Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby might not want to be a part of a rebuild, but guess what, Max? Mad Max, I don't see you winning anytime soon. Not this year, not next year. Who knows about after that? That is one of the most dysfunctional, unfortunately, franchises in the NFL. Number 30, we got the New York Football Giants, and they're not looking like Giants, if you ask me. They've got a lot of work to do. I'm guessing you're going to see both the head coach and the quarterback be gonzo by the end of the season or the start of next season. How about that? 29, Tennessee Titans. 28, the Cleveland Browns. Hey, if only we could have got Myles Garrett out of them. 27, the New York Jets. Bam, both New York teams just look abysmal, if you ask me. And if you ask me, not that you did, if Aaron Rodgers is back next year, I don't see it changing. Aaron Rodgers, he's no longer the quarterback he once was, and his personality makes it even worse, in my opinion. 26, the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, in case you weren't aware, their quarterback's probably going to be out for a bit of time, maybe even the full rest of the season, which means they're probably going to be looking for a new coach as well. Carolina Panthers come in at 25. I'm actually kind of rooting for them just because they've been so bad. Bryce Young's been, so maligned. I actually kind of hope they turn some things around and do some stuff this year just so they can feel right a little bit. All right, New England Patriots. I like a lot of things they're doing, but they still need a lot more talent. They're in at number 24. The Miami Dolphins, number 23. New Orleans Saints, number 22. Los Angeles Rams, 21. Let's keep going up here. The Indianapolis Colts, number 20. And another situation where, man, I don't know if that coach is going to survive, and I don't know what you do with Anthony Richardson. I really like the guy, but I think he needs time to develop. I would say it might not hurt him to do kind of like the Green Bay Packers or did with multiple different quarterbacks over their last 30 years. Let him sit for a while. Let him grow. Let him develop, and then see what you got with him, because he could be a weapon in time if he's developed. Number 19, the Seattle Seahawks. 18, Chicago Bears. 17, the Denver Broncos. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming at 16. Atlanta Falcons have fallen a little bit to 15. Cincinnati Bengals, I still think they could be a dangerous team because that offense is explosive. The defense, not so much. Number 14, Houston Texans. Number 13, Arizona Cardinals. Number 12, going up to a number 11, the San Francisco 49ers. Man, they need to keep on winning, or I don't know about them. This could be the last hurrah for the San Francisco 49ers as we've known them the last 5 years or so. Washington Commanders, number 10. Number 9, the U of M of the West, Los Angeles Chargers. Green Bay Packers are number 8. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 7. Number 6, how about them Philadelphia Eagles? I do think more and more it could be the Eagles versus the Lions in the NFC title game. All right, Minnesota Vikings at number 5. Baltimore Ravens, number 4. Buffalo Bills coming in at number 3, and yes, the Lions face them in just a couple of weeks. Maybe a little bit more in a couple of weeks, but coming up soon. How about that? And then yes, before you ask, drum roll please, who's number 1, who's number 2? What say you? Here's what I came up. Kansas City Chiefs are number 2, and it's not that they're not undefeated. They are 9-0, but I'm going to say they're making it happen with a lot of duct tape and everything else. They don't look dominant in any stretch of the imagination to me. They're very good, but I do think if the Lions were to face the Kansas City Chiefs right now in the Super Bowl or just a neutral site game, I think I would probably pick the Lions by 7. That's my opinion. I'm a homer. I'm a Lions fan, so I get it, but that's who I had at number 2. And yes, That means for the second straight week on the Dew Crew Power Rankings, your Detroit Lions at 8-1 are the number one team in the National Football League. And I don't think there's much of a debate about it. You went and played this weekend as terribly as you probably could have. And every bad tip, every bad bounce, whatever you want to say, anything that could have went against you in that first half went against you on the road, hostile environment, against a very good football team. And you know what? You still found a way to come back and win. So to me, that matters. To me, just what they're doing here, it's just something most Lions fans that are alive have never seen before. They are dominant in special teams, dominant in offense, dominant in defense. And let that sink in from where we were a year ago with this defense to where we are now. And without your best defensive player, it's no disrespect to anybody else on the defense, but Aiden Hutchinson is a game changer. He's currently, in my opinion, probably your only real game changer on defense, although Brian Branch is probably starting to get in that conversation. Lee McNeil, I think, is playing pretty dang good, and you can see he's grown every season. I just wouldn't call him a game changer yet. Carlton Davis, he's not a game changer, but you know what he is? He's pretty dang good. Terrion Arnold, I know there's a lot of fans that are kind of not happy with him, but I look at him in his game tape, and I just say, man, this kid's getting better every week. And I think it was the right decision, by the way, not that anybody asked, to not throw a pass interference on that play. Why? Anzalone tips the ball. And as we all know, you tip the ball, it's fair game at that point. So that's why I think the flag wasn't thrown. Also, watching it live, it's a whole lot different than when you slow it down and watch it frame by frame. It's hard to see that he actually bumped the receiver towards the end. But anyways, enough about that jazz. All right, Dew Crew, what say you to these power rankings? And now let's do it. Let's get over to the main topic of the day. I do like the songs that we play on here sometimes. All right, main topic of the day. This isn't coming from anybody, anything. This is just my opinion. So you can have your own opinion. Don't worry about it if your opinion's different than mine. It's not a big deal, but this is just, I've sat around and last night just started watching or thinking about the Lions' remaining schedule. I started looking at some of the other teams that we're probably competing with for the number one seed. And I started thinking about, man, if I'm Mcdc, I do have to make some hard choices. It's easy to look at the schedule and say, hey, Lions are going to have this thing wrapped up, man, just go out and win or whatever. But I think there's some opportunities here. We all get it. Sam Laporte has got some sort of injury with his shoulder. And I don't remember the name of the joints or anything like that. So sorry, I haven't had my morning Mountain Dew. But here's my question to you guys. Do you sit Sam Laporte this weekend? Do you roll the dice and say, hey, we're going to be okay this week, whether he plays or not plays? But I want to make sure he gets healthy so he's good to go the rest of the season of the playoffs. Let's real quick walk through the remaining schedule. This weekend, we got the Jags at home. After that, we're on the road to the Colts. So even though we go on the road to the Colts, it's not a long drive or anything. Yes, it's not home, but it's really, if they want to take a bus or a plane, I mean, you're there in a plane, you'd probably be there in about 40 minutes. If you're on the bus, maybe you'd be there in a couple hours, but not a long trip by any stretch. Then you're home Thanksgiving against the Chicago Bears. I'm going to guess in those three games, we're probably going to be fairly heavily favored. After that, you do have the Packers in Detroit. You've got the Bills in Detroit. Then you go to Chicago. Chicago at that point, man, I don't even know if Eberflus is the coach. Then you go to San Francisco. Then you go to the Vikings. So I think there are going to be potentially some opportunities here if the Detroit Lions want to rest a couple injured guys. Now, I wouldn't rest 50 guys on 1 week, but this weekend, Sam Laporta, can you sit him? Maybe. If Taylor Decker isn't right, this is where the coaching comes in. Do you give him an opportunity to rest for a second straight week? Going forward, if we all really feel if you go 11-0 in these next couple games or just win the 3 in the postseason, if you are the number one seed, you're going to be Super Bowl champs. But what can you do? What do you have to do if you're Dan Campbell to help get us there? Do you rest some guys here and there when possible? And yes, it's always a calculated risk if you put down an injured player. But if Sam Laporta is not 100%, and we all know he's been dealing with a hamstring injury, now a shoulder injury, man, there ain't no buys. The next possible buy for the Detroit Lions would be the first round buy if they get it by having the number one seed. But beyond that, now let's Scooby-Doo this a little bit further. If you're the Detroit Lions and you've got a game this weekend, do you intentionally try to put it on that team in the first half and the third quarter to the point where you're up a gajillion points, a bazillion points even, just so you can get some younger players out on the field and get them some meaningful reps, help develop them. This is still a pretty young team. This is still a team where I'm going to guess, Terry and Arnold could be vastly different from today to the first playoff game. Could Rakestraw be this different? I think so. How about Wingo? Do you think he could be different? Do you think James Houston, who's starting to look a little bit inch by inch more like he did in 2022, how much different can he be by then? And you can go through a laundry list of guys on this team that if the coaches really develop them, keep them healthy, keep rotating to take some wear off guys, how good could this team really be by then? And that's why I think Dan Campbell's you're in a good spot because you're an 8-1, but you're also in a challenging spot because you got to find ways to keep guys motivated in games like this weekend where, hey, we probably are aware we're the better team, but can we come out with a razor-sharp focus and get out on the field and just say, hey, we're going to execute right off the bat. We're not going to wait till halftime or anything like that. This is also part of coaching, is finding ways when people read the media, even though I know players aren't supposed to read the media, not supposed to listen to this and that. Man, it's unavoidable. Are you going to get on your phone? You're going to hear something. Somebody's going to text you something. Somebody said something about your mama. Somebody's going to say it to you. And that's one of the tougher parts at this point in the season. Every time we get a win, and if Minnesota and Green Bay lose or whoever else you're fighting with for the number one seed in not just the NFC North, but the NFC overall, there is human nature starts coming to play. I'll turn it on later. Well, they're not a good team. We can just kind of cakewalk through this. That's where I think MCDC is going to be really challenged from a coaching perspective in a way he hasn't faced already. Last year, they were always battling every week. We got to win this week. We got to win this week because we wanted a chance for that number 2 seed. Number 1 was kind of out of our reach. We want to win the NFC North. We got to keep distance between us and everybody else. The North is still a real thing to help motivate the team, but I think we also need to look at it for the number 1 seed. If the Lions can do this, a lot of it's going to be coming down to how the players, head coaches, all come together and say, there is no taking the foot off the gas. There's no week where we can't go through practice and find a way to get 1% better. If the Lions, the coaches, the players, everybody involved, you think about how much time we have left in just the regular season. We've got basically 2 months left. It's a little bit less than that. If you can get 1% better at everything they do as players and coaches in that remaining time, you know what? You're almost 8% better than you were today. And if you can keep them healthy all throughout the rest of the way, you've done a real service to this team. That's on coaching. It's not easy. It's not easy to get people to do stuff they do not normally want to do. And I'm guessing through the grind of this season, there are a lot of guys that are more beat up than we're aware of. What we see on the injury report, man, that's just stuff for the bettiers and stuff like that for Vegas. But let's also face it, every guy who's been on that field for a while, their body's banged up. They've gone through a car crash, some of them more than others. And that's where I think if they get an opportunity to rest some guys here and there, even if it's only for a half or whatever, Laporta, and maybe Decker this weekend, you probably need to do it because it gets them that much healthier looking down the long run. All right, I've spoken enough on this. Let's see what you guys have to say. These are just my opinions. Feel free to have your own opinions. But if I'm Dan Campbell, these next almost 2 months, you're going to be forced to make a lot of tough choices. Play a guy, not play a guy. Get some younger guys out there so they can develop so we're even deeper with that 53-man roster. And you know what? If something blows up in your face because you rolled the dice, everybody in the national media, YouTube media, everybody in the comment section, they're going to be roasting somebody over it. But at the end of the day, if you don't arrest somebody and now they go out there and they further injure themselves, well, you're going to get roasted for that too. So there is no safe zone. I've learned in head coaching, you just got to have thick skin. Sorry about that. You got to have thick skin and say, hey, I'm just going to do what I think is the best move, and you got to live with it, hell or high water. All right, Duke Crew, let's get over to you guys and see what you guys have to say on all these topics. And if there's some other ones, by all means, throw them in the comment section. I'll get to it, as you guys know. Michael D, greetings and salutations. Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, what pride. Woo, woo. Good morning to you too, Michael. Johnny L, good morning to you, Duke Crew, Mannix, and same to you. Hopefully you're having a great one there, Johnny. Nice thumbnail, by the way, of the lion in the clouds. Rich, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! And back at you, Rich. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Choice cuts only, exclamation point. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And hey, have a good morning there, my friend. Phil, good morning, and same to you. Matty B, fourth up for the Duke crew, 100%, fourth and always. Let's see, Johnny L, good morning, Bo. Mood Scar, good morning, Duke crew, starting lineup, exclamation point. Just finished watching a Texans fan vlog from the seats in the end zone. Was fun to see his demeanor change through the game. Yeah, man, I know I can't think of the guy's name. I think he's a Packers fan, but he does some videos and he mocks kind of all the teams. He does a good job with it, but I watched a little bit of his one for the Lions and Texans game this weekend, and kind of he nailed it on the head, man. Halftime, you're jumping up and down. You know, it's your Super Bowl or whatever you want to say. Second half, though, man, not so good for the Houston Texans. And many games have I been through that as a Lions fan. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. The life of a coach is tough, I would think. Stay healthy and keep moving forward. Yeah, you got to keep finding ways to motivate. Keep finding ways to get your team to develop, learn, and stay healthy. You're spot on. Johnny L, what's going on there, Phil? We'll find out. Morning, Johnny, says Phil. Hat man. Top of the morning, Dan and the Crazy Dude crew. I just want to give a huge thank you to you, Dan, for all you do. Hey, no worries, man. I enjoy this stuff. Hopefully you guys get that by now. This is by far the best Lions content channel, my friend. Hey, we might be the only content channel out there, but hey, I like it. I like it a lot. And thank you for that, by the way. Bo, yeah, I could see the Texans' body language shift. Yeah, especially in the second half. Yeah, it's one of the tough things to teach young players. When you go out and scouting, people don't know if you're there. I mean, you're not dressed up. I can only tell you when I go scout, I just look like I probably do when I'm hosting the show. Nobody has a clue who I am, but you're sitting there watching the body language, the nonverbal communication skills of players and coaches in times. You want to see how people handle different situations. Watching the NBC cameras when they would put them on different Texas players, you could see just how it was changing from their nonverbal communication skills. And if you're doing that during the game, you're probably sending that message non-invertly, but you're sending it to the rest of your teammates too, especially if you're someone like C.J. Stroud, a quarterback. And I get he's still a kid, but somebody really needs to work with him about that aspect of leadership and, other players on the team too, not just your quarterback. But if you start looking like you have questions and doubt, everybody who's geared to follow you because you're the number one dude, they're going to start doubting themselves too. And you know what? That translates to the field. All right, Johnny L., you got that right stuff. I concur. Phil, Texans have not scored in the second half for 4 games. Man, they might want to hire that Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. I don't think I've ever seen Lions favored by more points heading into a game than this weekend. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like a 13-point or whatever it is prediction that the Lions will win by. It could be that. It could be worse. It could be way worse. And the only reason I'd say that is if Trevor Lawrence plays, that would help the Jags exponentially. If he doesn't, and if he's got a shoulder injury like they're saying, if I'm them, I'm just getting that fixed at this point because you just gave him a new contract. He goes out there and messes the thing up worse. That's really not doing you any favors. You're not making the playoffs this year. You're not in any kind of contention for anything other than, I guess you could say, the number one choice. All right, Hatman, Moonscar Blade, I literally just finished about 10 minutes ago myself. Woo! He wasn't happy. No, he wasn't. Bo, spork in the road? Baby, spork in the road. Did I put spork instead of fork? It happens, man. Let's see. Matty B, Dan's only tough choices is who he has to waive and bring back starting players. Hard to send guys off that helped you win, correct, when you are going to the Super Bowl. Woo! Yeah, you're not wrong. That will be another tough choice for him, Brad Holmes, and the positional coaches, along with the coordinators. You do get to know these players pretty dang well. You get tied to them, especially at the professional level, because you understand when you cut a person, more often than not, you're cutting their family, their kids from schools. It's a damn tough choice. You get somebody out of here, they're not only getting paychecks anymore, but now if they do move somewhere else, they got to pull the entire family out and into a new location, assuming they get picked up by another team. Yeah, it weighs on a lot of coaches because you do know them as human beings, not just, athletes. All right, Moonscar, Texans fans chanting Jared Goff after the 4th and 5th picks, but our fans were chanting C.J. Stroud when he threw his first. How about that, man? I didn't know that part. That's awesome. I'm going to try to check that out. Leonard, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. Been a minute. Woo! I hope you have had a day, everyone. Same to you, Leonard. Good to see you as always. Always welcome you in here, my friend. You're a good one for the Duke Crew. All right, Johnny L., I'm 62 and never have been so excited for the next game like I am nowadays. Yeah, you're only halfway through the week, right? So you got a few more days to go before this weekend's game. But, man, I think that's going to be a fun game to call. I just think that, it's probably going to be fairly one-sided. But been wrong before. France, good day all. Assuming we win these next two games heading into Thanksgiving, Coach, what do you feel our end-of-the-year record can really be? Ooh, I guess that's actually a pretty good question. It's all speculation, but I would say you're probably at some point going to lose another game. Who's it going to be? Could it be the 49ers? Could it be the Bills? Could it be anybody on the schedule? Sure. I think the Lions will probably lose two more games. So, yeah, take that in for what it's worth. Now, who that would be to, who knows? Could they win out? Absolutely. But I'd say probably two more losses. All right, Hatman, a.k.a. Batman, this may sound weird, but I think the Texans game allowed our team to be humbled a little bit, and I think we needed that moving forward for the big push to the Super Bowl. No, you're not wrong in the fact that you were able to get that and win. That's just a real benefit to the team from a record standpoint. If you win these next three, I know I've talked about it a little bit this week. You're 11-1. There's limited time left. You do have some challenging games coming up, but I think it's real possible if the Lions win these next three that there's a possibility maybe with 2 weeks left in the regular season, you've secured the number one seed. Because if you're winning some of these, I'm guessing some of your competitors have also dropped one or two. All right, Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I would think DC's hardest choice is doing whatever he can to keep the team improving while staying healthy. Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on with that. No doubt about it. Stay healthy, stay relevant in the race, and keep people growing and developing. Matty B, I think there's going to be two games with one loss this season. All right, us and the Chiefs. I think there's going to be two teams with one loss this season. Us and the Chiefs when they lose to the Super Bowl. All right, I'm down with that. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs lose a game before the playoffs. Moonscar, I agree 100%, Hatman. And to be humbled and still win, excellent. Regaining the focus going forward. Yes, I agree with that 1,000%. Jason, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Expecting a win is a luxury this team has earned. We've come a long way. Man, you ain't wrong with that. A glorious Super Bowl win awaits. Superdome or bust. 1,000% with that. 1,000 billion% with that. Let's see. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations. If we can get a healthy lead late in the third quarter, I would love to see Hooker, Rakes, and some of the other younger players get meaningful snaps. Yeah, and I'd like to see Hooker actually get to offenses called for him, not just handoffs and, take some knees. I mean, meaningful snaps. And that's what I'm hoping they can get for him. Darcy, good morning, Duke Crew. Coach, give me a woo. All right, you want a woo? I'll give you a woo. All right, and then this one. And there you go. Man Bear, good morning, Dana Roo and Scooby-Doo crew. Same to you. Hopefully you're having a great start to your day, my friend. Reese, greetings and salutations to Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Back at you, Hook. Hopefully it's a good start to your day. Jason, Bobo's prime cuts only, exclamation point. Any luck on Lions Talk Live transition riffs? Question mark. I keep asking until we hear some. All right, fair enough. We'll see if we get some. Matt B, that game was a much needed gut check. I agree with that. You got to face some adversity, and this was the perfect time to pull the team together for the most important part of this trip. Correct, yeah. And second half's here. Let's see if we can keep it going now. Just Hatman, a.k.a. Batman. Yep, exclamation point. Bring them back down to earth a bit. I agreed with that. Agreed. Lionel, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. With you guys getting healthy again, that 53-man roster is going to be tough to narrow down. The Lightning and Thundercats, ho! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can get some opportunities to give a little bit of rest to some of the beat-up guys, man, everybody's beat up to a degree, and keep rotating guys, I think that's going to be great down the stretch. Johnny L., Jason Berry, well done, brother. I concur. Bo, hey, Jason, how about Riders on the Storm? I did love the Doors back in the day, man. Matty B, Coach Dan, let's get a triple woo for the Duke Crew today. You want a triple? I'll give you a 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Coach Rock, good morning, all, and hopefully he plays the players who earned the time and would set this is actually a great situation to be in. Could be the other way around, no talent. Agreed with that. Keep the guys healthy. Keep everybody fresh. Keep them motivated. All balls, good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you. Suzanne, Jags defense is good. Their offense looks terrible last week. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. There's an opportunity. I think the Lions defense could score nearly as many points. Trevor Lawrence would help if he is out there playing, but he hasn't played great this year either. And he's a little banged up. We'll see. Hatman, hey, Jason Berry, how about Nugget Stranglehold? Woo! There you go. Could be. Almost, I see Super Bowl in the horizon. I hope so too, man. Hope so. All right, Johnny or Van Halen's eruption. Okay. All balls. They paid Trevor all that money, and he's man, it hasn't gone well for him. He started off well, but some of it I'm going to blame the franchise too. I don't think they put much talent around him. Bo, bet of the century, looking good. I would think so. Let's see. All balls. My uncle Dave is best friends with Nugent. Okay, I did not know that. Hatman Anthony will be able to buy us all a Mountain Dew. Now that is true. Anthony, or excuse me, all balls, and absolutely 100% bet of the century. Butsky better pay up. Let's hope he does. Rocky, by the way, great job on the new on the show, Coach Dan. And it's been a minute, just fun watching it grow. So a big woo to you and the Dew Crew. Hey, we all have made this happen. It's not one person; it's the Dew Crew behind all of it. Papa Noel, I cannot wait until the Chicago Bears contest. Broski will not be seen again. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen him this morning. Bo, Jiminy guys, the next thing you'll want through the fire and flames. Okay, you'll go through it. Johnny L, I love this stuff. All balls, and I absolutely would. Hatman, okay. Ezra Gray, good morning, Dan and the Dew Crew. Best part of Wake Up, Lions Super Bowl bound, 100%. Imagine the day that we win the Super Bowl. Imagine the next morning show after that. That's probably going to be a rough one for all of us in a good way. Quitting. Greetings, salutations, y'all. Let's get this big lead early Sunday and let some dudes rest. I like that thought. So, Simone, good morning, Dew Crew. Back at you. All balls. I have a feeling, though, Broski going to disappear like he does every Bears loss, and the hardest thing remaining, and they have the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL, only going to get worse. Yeah, and hey, I hope we make it hard on them every time we play them. Manny B, any of y'all see the St. Brown podcast laughing about Houston? Man, I know Dan loves him, but does he want him the head of the the Dew Crew? Yes, indeed. I see what you're doing there. Voltron Force, thinking golf and the offense want to get right, so let the points fly? Yeah, I think they'll come out there and see what they can do. But the Jags do have a good defense. Don, James Houston really stuff his pants? I don't think so. If you hear him talk about it, and I want to say DC mentioned it too, kind of off the cuff. He said, Houston sat in some Gatorade. The only thing I can say is I know there was some stuff with him on I don't remember which media thing it was after the game, and he didn't see the spot in the pants anymore. So the only thing I can surmise is maybe it dried up or something. If he really did that in his pants, I'm guessing they would have got him off the field. One, man, not a good day to wear white pants, right? He would have had to go to the locker room, change the clothes, probably going to fit in a bath or a shower at that point, and then get back to the field. And I just don't remember him leaving the field in the second half that long. So I suspect it probably didn't happen, but you never know, man. Brett, good morning, Dan and Dew Crew. I see Lombardi. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Let's see. Hatman, yes, he will, probably already hibernating. Okay, Brosi, could be. All balls, I shot a 7-point yesterday morning, so I'm able to join the show this morning. Woo! Well, congrats on that, my friend. Matty B, Don Burr, yes, on Sunday Night Football in white pants. It could be, but who knows, man. Bo Houston sat and spilled Gatorade. That's what I think that's probably what happened because, again, I just don't remember in the second half him ever leaving the field. And, that, it is a hike to get from the field to the locker room. And then, of course, you got to change the gear, clean up. I don't think he was gone for a half hour or anything like that or 20 minutes. So I do suspect that just dried up and that was Gatorade. I've never seen brown Gatorade. It probably would have been the green Gatorade, in my opinion, on the white pants. And I get how it would probably look. Yes, probably like we all thought it looked. Moonscar Boboth, do you have any chops to keep up the pace of through the fire and flames? We'll see. Have the chops keep up with that. See, happening. Congratulations, Anthony. Great job. Yeah, congrats on that, man. Pat, he didn't stuff himself. He sat in some Gatorade. If you see his pants after the game, the spot is gone. So I'm guessing, that's where I'm at with it. But, man, you never know, man. They got wondrous products out there nowadays. I just can't imagine playing in that and then standing post-game, doing interviews and stuff and that. That's why I think it probably was just spilled. Let's see. Matt B. Boboth Saint was laughing about it. That wasn't Gatorade. That was Mountain. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Mozart, not anymore. 65 years old. Hands. Okay. Don, Pat, the St. Brown Brothers podcast on Now. St. Brown had me in tears laughing about James. I'll have to check that out, man. I'll have to check it out. Let's see. All balls. For all balls, we got for Caleb. He got sacked 9 times. He upset several of his offense linemen. I've heard some of the comments out of Caleb Williams, and it's a tough situation because I think he feels a lot of pressure from the media. He's seeing what Daniels is doing. He's also hearing everybody call him a bust already. I don't think that's fair, but I also think we've all talked about in this offseason. I get the Bears trying to get him a lot of weapons, but if you can't block for a guy, especially a guy who doesn't yet know how to read defenses, it doesn't matter. You could have Jerry Rice, you could have Calvin Johnson, or whoever else you want at receiver. If that quarterback doesn't have time to get the ball off and defensive coordinators know how to confuse him, which they do, that's because he's a rookie, the weapons don't matter, and that's, I feel, actually kind of bad for Caleb Williams. The non-laughers, good morning, Dan. Hello, Blue Crew, exclamation point, one pride, 42-6. I would take that. Let's see, Dave. Yeah, I doubt he did him. Yep, with that, it could take a while to leave the field. Change. Yeah, that's where I was going with things. So I agree with that. Let's see, is that so? You 8-1, one pride. I'm down with that. Matty B, we are winning 11 more. I hope so, because that means we all get it. We're in the Super Bowl and we won it. Don, Matt B, Mountain. Yes, indeed. All right, moving on from this one. Got to wonder if someone pranked Houston. Maybe they did intentionally. That it could be, man. Let's see. Maybe. Here's the thought. Somebody wanted those snaps, so they did them dirty, literally, to try to get those snaps. Almost the only game we might lose is 49ers. Might, yeah. It could be. Any given Sunday, though, right? Matthew Grace, what do you got? Greetings, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. How about a shot of Old Dew and a healthy Sheila? Woo! You want a Sheila? I'll give you a Sheila. 1, 2. Yeah, you guys got me cracking up about James Houston. Okay, good morning, Coach, and the amazing Dew Crew. Same to you, my friend. Stuff happens, says Johnny. It does indeed. Miles Margaret, morning, Hookadoo. Maddie B. When we're next man up, you can't run to the locker room. That's also true. But like I said, at the end of the game, you do see him out there talking to players, doing some interviews and stuff. There doesn't appear to be a spot on him. I would also think if you really let loose Mother Nature, you're probably not standing out there and doing interviews and talking to other players about it. That's my anticipation. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's totally fine with it. I don't know. Good morning, Anthony. Great job on the 7-pointer. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Let's see. Kurt Steele, what up, though, the Duke Crew? What's up to you, man of Steel? Bo, if number 1 seed is still on the line when we play San Francisco, we win. I agree with that. San Francisco, I get a lot. They've had a lot of injuries, but we talked about it before the season began in the offseason. I think Father Time's catching up with them, and that's partially why you're seeing so many injuries. It's also why, man, they're in a real dogfight, I think, to make the postseason. I'm not looking past any team. The focus is Jacksonville Sunday. Start counting wins too early. Things happen. I agree with that. That's some coach speak right there, Don. All balls. The Hookster is in the house. Good morning, brother. There you go. Rob, greetings, salutations. Go Lions. Thank you for that, Rob. Hopefully you're having a great morning. Johnny, we will beat the 49ers. I think so. Hookadoo. Top of the morning, Miles Barger. We got the grit. We do it indeed. Agreed. Burr says all balls. Don beat Jacksonville. That's the next team up. Maddie, let's hit that like and subscribe. Yes, if you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You guys all get it. It helps out a ton. Kurt, hit that like button, people. Please, por favor. Sarge, good morning, Dan and all. Cool background. Woo! Thanks for that. So, I messed with it. Hopefully you guys like it a little bit. Didn't leave it up too much today just because I thought it was it gets a little distracting to me at least. But, hey, we'll leave it up for a little bit here. I'd say, Doug, we need another bye week for our main players, maybe even Goff, probably. Yeah, if we can get some stuff here and there, that'd be great. Rob, looking forward to the next few games before we have a bit of gauntlet the last 5, but that number 1 seed is within eyesight. I concur. Jason, Bo Booth, Riders in the Storm, China Groove. All right, Bo, when the sun comes up. Steve K, reading salutations, Dan and Duke Crew. God bless America. Super Bowl is on the menu. Woo! I concur with that. And good morning there. Jonathan, good morning. Back at you, Jonathan. Mo, still hyping from that last win in Houston! Exclamation point. I'm kind of shocked with how kind the media has remained in regards to Goff. I was sure it'd be nothing but Jared Goff, this and that. Yeah, the good part is, I guess you could say, it's like PFF. I thought they actually did a pretty good job with it. I'm not always a fan of those two dudes, but I thought they did a pretty good job breaking down. All right, really 3. Maybe you could argue 4 is what they were saying of the turnovers of the picks from Goff really aren't on him. Just a wrong place, wrong time. The one pass to Sam Laporta starting the third quarter. Laporta doesn't get his head around, so he doesn't know to make the play on the ball. The DB does. The Hail Mary. All right, that one just take off the table, man, because it's just a BS pick. He's just throwing it up there to see if some jazz happens right before halftime. And then the 2 that started the game, the tip deflections. Houston caught him or whatever. I get it. They still count, but it's not like they were bad reads by him. So sometimes other teams just make plays. All right, Johnny, Bo Booth, Eruption. There you go. Moonscar. What are we hearing about Decker? Is he getting another week off? I haven't heard anything yet. My guess is we get an update today. If he's out there practicing, he's right as rain, he's probably good to go, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is something a little bit more egregious that he does miss this week. Just because I'm guessing they feel like they can win without him this week, probably without Laporta too. Kurt, can't wait to see Za'Darius this weekend. Me too, man. I want to see him out there, and maybe Poopy Pants McGee can be on the other side going after him. Mountain Dew McGee, whatever you want to call him. I like Houston. I think he's getting that bend back and getting that explosion back. Rob, a good D can throw a wrench in Goff's plans, but it takes more than that just to beat him. He doesn't rattle over a wrench or two. Either way, Jax is not that D. Oh, I agree. Moonscar, personally, I'd let him rest this week. We need him for the final 5 and the playoffs more than the next 2 weeks. Could be a lot of truth to that. Fred, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Back at you, Fred. Hookadoo, I agree 100%, Moonscar Blade. Hookadoo, my bad, Kurt. I'm looking forward to Smith. Me too, man. I think everybody is. Derek, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. This week, Goff gets his mojo back, 300-plus yards and 3 TDs. Can I get a woo? Amen. Oh, amen, and I'll give you a and there you go. Reese, this is Steve using my grandson's phone. I'm recovering from surgery at the hospital and forgot my phone charger. So Reese let me use his to chat on my favorite show. Hey, that's awesome, man. Hopefully you're recovering okay, and whatever it is at the hospital, hopefully everything's going real well, man. Thoughts and prayers to you and the fam. All right, Don, I think the NFL should allow a playoff teams a 1-week window to make a trade offer. So any team who's out of the dance, a week only. Okay, that's not a bad idea, and it would probably revitalize a lot of interest in the teams that have not made the postseason, and then obviously add some speculation media-wise for everybody that has made the postseason. Kurt, I want Decker to play this weekend. The Jags have a good pair of healthy pass rushers. They do. The Jags defense, I like it. It's pretty dang good in my opinion. Hey, Vape, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke crew. Woo! I see Super Bowl getting closer. Woo! And I agree. You know what? We are one day closer. Bo, got to have that wall of steel. There you go. Johnny L. Don Burr, very interesting. Hey, Vape, Legatron is the name. Kicking long balls is his game. You are correct with that. Kurt Steele, Bo Booth, I don't want Goff to get hurt with Skipper at left tackle. I would think, man, if they're not going to play, I mean, who knows what they'll do. I wouldn't want Skipper at left tackle either. Hookadoo, if you look at Bates' field goal ball, it has yellow paint on it. It probably does, man. It probably took some of the paint off it. Miles Margaret, Reese, good morning, bro. Glad you are alert and able. You're correct with that. And woo! Bo, agreed. Kurt, Bates is a pole kisser. Yes, he is, Moonscar Blade. Kurt Steele, Moonscar Blade, laughing out loud. Moonscar, fat thumbs, added those fingers, not me. Fair enough. It happens, man. It happens. Rob, Matt Millen is second only to Al Villa in terms of incompetence. Might be Al Villa. Yeah, there you go. Rombo of North Carolina. It wasn't but a couple of weeks ago where the most likely outcome would have been a blocked field goal and return for a touchdown. Yes, but man, how times have changed for the Detroit Lions. Don, nice win last night, Pistons. All you heard from Pistons players was that the word grit, Lions are starting to have influence. I think you're correct with that. You're hearing that word pop up all over the place now. Matty B, let's not talk about Millen or Patricia. Okay, fair enough. Moonscar, he's got personality, personality. Correct. Matty B, word. All balls. The Jets are nothing more than a throwback Green Bay team getting ready for retirement, getting those final paychecks, and then they're getting on out of here. Derek, I see what you did there, Moonscar. Correct. Rob, okay, but no Alavia either. There you go. Bo, given current circumstances in Chicago, I would put the Bears lower. Okay, fair enough. And probably after this week, they might be, or the next upcoming weeks. Matt B, I'll add to that. I'll add to all that any talk of Patriots way. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no more Patriots way here. Moonscar, the Bears, yes, the Bears are, man, they're falling down. Skip the Bears, says Don Burr. Moonscar, y'all remember in 1985, right? Hey, Broski's still cheering that on. Rob, not without protection, mate. All right, fair enough. Matt B, I'm going with Tom Grossi's power rankings over Coach. It happens, man. It happens, man. Let's see. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Good morning to you, too. Hopefully it's a great start to your day. Moonscar Blade, don't forget their lucky zebras, Coach Dan. Gotta love those. You do have to love those. Mo, flag, always a flag. Matty B, no flag. All right. Sarge, Chiefs number 2, right on. Woo! There you go, my friend, and good morning. All balls. Yep, Pop. Yeah, okay. Yep. Jason, Bo Booth, taking care of business. Always, my friend. Bo, how good is a team that wins despite doing everything they could to give the game away? You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong with that. Don Burr, we have 11 games left. Yes, we do. On balls, ball was tipped by Anzalone. No flag. Correct. Yeah, no flag there. And I think they made the right call. I know we talked about it during the live cast, but whether it's a defensive lineman, a linebacker, that ball wasn't getting there, whether he was interfered with or not, because he threw it right into double coverage. Anzalone just whacked it down. He was actually lucky Anzalone didn't pick it off. Matt B, the Lions are so good nowadays, even the Lions can't beat the Lions. You're not wrong with that. That's a spot-on call right there. It might be the stat of the day. Johnny L, 11 wins left. Let's hope so. Bo, Baxman, Turner, overdrive. Okay. Mo, best team I've seen in my 30-plus years, Bo. Yeah, I'd say right now it's either this team or the 93 team, even though the 91 team won the playoff game. But I thought I'll still say this. The 93 team was, until this year, it's the best Lions team I've seen. Mo, let's see, of being a fan, okay? Rocky M, let's see, I wouldn't sit Laporta for this week, and I would sit Laporta this week and let him heal up some. Yeah, it might be what they do. What about Rocky Mountain Way? Trim Reaper, good morning, Coach and crew. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Good morning to you, too. Hookadoo, love that song, Bo. I concur. Sarge, FYI, Happy Trails theme song written by Dale Evans, Roy Rogers' wife. I did not know that. Moonscar, Dan, explain the ineligible man downfield. I mean, the one pass was behind the line of scrimmage. Zettler leaked up the field over 5 yards, but later offensive linemen are blocking 15 to 30 yards downfield. That one, I guess you could say it's just a judgment call of the officials. It's a tough one for them to call. They had 2 Lions going downfield. Panay Sewell, you could say, was on the line or massaging it, so you probably let that one go. And then the other lineman, he was just too far down before the pass was thrown. So that's, I guess, it in a nutshell. Robert, great citations. Back at you. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you, Dominic. Mo, Brock Wright has been playing well, and I've seen Zylstra on the field this season as well, so Laporta can take a break, in your opinion. Yeah, and that might be what they end up doing. Unless Laporta just heals up, he seems okay, fine as rain or whatever. Wait and see, I guess. Joe Walsh, James Gang Funk 49. Okay, Johnny L. Good morning, Texas. Doll balls, lineman cannot pass the line of scrimmage while the quarterback still is in the pocket. Correct. Dale, Dr. Hook, Johnny L. Bo Booth, how about that? I ain't drunk, I'm just drinking. Okay, fair. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Moonscar, Dr. Hook's Pro Shop. Yes, I do know that one for bowling. Doug, how about racking up stats in these coming games? Get Rakestraw some game experience. See what we have. Is Colby or Mahogany our future or not? Not stats future. We'll wait and see. Yeah, they might end up getting one or both of those guys activated for one of these games. Joe Walsh wrote that before he joined the Eagles. Okay. Johnny L., we are the Hot Rod Lincoln. Okay. Listen, I told you my mama can whoop your mama. That's probably true. Let's see, Muddy Edits. Can't afford to lose any key players to injury. Let's stay healthy and develop players at this point. I'll go with that. And keep winning. Keep winning. Rob, make sure the guys are in the best position to win when you have to win out. The playoffs. I agree with that. It's all about the playoffs at this point. Mama said knock you out. I concur with that, Johnny. Phil, your mama is fatter than my mama. Might be true. Trump's the best part of waking up is knowing you're okay. Yep. Manifest my destiny. Question of the day: is it worth it to just keep Decker or Laporta on the shelf for this week against the Jags, who we should beat? Might be, but I mean, again, we can have opinions, but coaches who watch the game film and all that stuff a lot more frequently, they might have other opinions about the Jags. They might not think it's such an easy win for the team, but if they do, they do. I think you've got some opportunities to rest some guys. Now, maybe those say you guys are playing. If we get the opportunity, we get up big, we're taking you out so you have more time to rest. Wait and see. Moonscar, come on, man. Don't make me delete that. I'm down with that. Let's see. Trim Reaper. Laporta is too important to risk to further injury. Rest him a bit for the Super Bowl run. Oh, yeah, they might do that. Absolutely. Yep, all right. Down. All right. Brent, Mama told me not to come. All right, fair enough. Let's see. The non-laughers, hopefully we can have another second team fourth quarter. Love these Lions. Woo! Yeah, do what you can to get them in there and get them, just basically keep the team healthy, get people out of there healthy, and moving on to the next game. And best part of waking up is knowing that your neighbors we're not doing any political stuff here. Phil, that ain't the way to have fun. Correct. Okay. Let's see. Patrick, I'm predicting a huge game for Smith. Okay, go Lions. I'm down with that. That would be not bad at all for that. I'd see Hookadoo is laughing out loud. Okay, Brett DeWitt. Let's see. All right, going to see the Lions smiling faces on the cover of Rolling Stone. All right, I'd be okay with that if they want to make an article on them. Johnny L, how about the Ram? All right, go with that. I bet Houston gets better each game. I think so, man, especially he seems like he's doing that the last several games, getting more snaps, getting a little bit more burst. We'll find out more about him this week. All right, Henry, Maurice Alexander re-signed with the Lions from NFL reporter Aaron Wilson. Yeah, him. He's him and Isaiah Thomas. Bam, la, bam. All right. Let's see. Phil. Black Betty. Okay. And Moonscar. Black Betty. Okay. Yep. My girlfriend thought Black Betty was a racist, sexist. I think it's an old song if I'm not mistaken. Phil. First, I look at the purse. All right. Dimitri, what up, though? What up to you, Dimitri? Good morning to you, too. Let's see. Bo, song. Okay, yep. Not about the songs here. All right, you guys are really on the songs this morning. Hi, Wire. Yep. All right. Getting back to Lion stuff here. Miles. Okay. Yep. Southwest. Green Citations. Duke Crew. Lions 62. Jag 6. That would be a heck of a game, wouldn't it, though? All right. It's ever been a DJ, Dan? No, I have not. Tommy. Getting the younger players reps will help down the stretch. Give me a Sheila. Woo! No, I think you're spot on with that, Tommy. You get some development out of these guys. Just make a good team deeper. That's even better. And you want a Sheila? I'll give you a. There you go, my friend. All right, Johnny W. Bravo S. Okay, Lions to beat the Chiefs pays 14 plus on FanDuel right now. So a $10 bet would pay $140. I'd be down with that. Hey, Vape, Mahomes has never beaten Goff and won't start this year. I think you are correct with that. I think Goff would beat him in the Super Bowl. Let's see, Phil. Houston is getting better and better. Maybe he can afford a. Okay, yep. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Moonscar, Houston fans should troll Houston and send him a box. All right. See, Dale, Houston ain't living on that one down. No, unfortunately, it's probably going to stick with him a little bit. Whether he did or didn't, it's just the perception of it. Let's see. Phil, veteran Cosmic breaking news. James Houston just traded to the Browns for a couple of fiber gummies. Yes, indeed. Here we go. All right, Great Lakes, Great Citations, coach and crew, exclamation point. What's your favorite Lions player right now? By the way, it's a good thing Houston didn't sit in red Gatorade. That might have actually helped him if he did, thinking about it. But it is what it is. Who will sit down for Smith? That's a good question. We'll find out. Mutzgar, yep, me too. Hookadoo must have been the root beer Gatorade. It might have been. Bricks, okay. Let me, since we only got a minute or two left, let me scan through the comments looking for people who haven't been on as much. Hey, Vape, 49-6, I would take that. Congratulations, I thought Gatorade stains looked like Broski. All right, David, just might. Is this still you? Hey, Mutzgar Blade, if Trump hits daily political statement, can I get a one for free? All right, let's see, Phil. Was there a lineman on the Lions that let the defense hit the quarterback? I know, well, maybe not this year. Bo, Caleb